Across the constituencies, citizens are asking questions. How open are elected representatives? How do they manage public funds? And how do they account to their actions? My name is Etakin Success, and welcome to another interesting episode on Talk Your Mind. Joining me here is the political analyst. I will be diving into the topic, transparency and accountability of government office. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Comrade Moshood Adebola Oshofrewa, a political analyst, and I'm here to share my thoughts on the question of transparency, accountability in Ajegunle concerning the representatives we elected in this constituency.
Okay, sir. So, to start with, how long have you been in politics?
Well, I cannot say this is a specific year I've been in politics. From my years of experience and from my own philosophical thinking, we are all political animals. What did I mean by this? You are born into politics, you grow with politics. In workplace, there is politics. So, if some people are professional politicians, what has that got to do with us? The number of years in politics does not count. That is what I'm trying to say.
All right, thank you very much. So let's start with the first question. As we're diving into transparency and accountability in government office. Now, how do you define transparency and accountability in the context of government public affairs?
Today, what is referred to as accountability and transparency is completely upside down.
How do you mean?
What ought to be is a situation when elected public officers are given power, to represent the voice of the people. But the case are usually the reverse now. You have elected public office holder who has no accounts, who have no opinion whatsoever concerning what is happening in their constituency. Take for instance, recently we have tax reform bill that has become an uproar in the House due to what is harmonized, what is gazetted are different. And we are asking simple questions, which is boiled down to accountability and transparency. What is the role of Kalejaye? What is the role of Sumo? What is the role of Olumo? What is the role of Akilipe? These are simple questions that we need to ask ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, you're talking about the roles of this representative, the role of Honorable Sao, the role of Olumo, Honorable Akindikwe, the local government chairman. So can you point out some of their roles for people watching, for people that don't even know their roles, so they can
At the federal level, we have Right Honorable Paul Kalejaye, which is aka CAP. The truth of the matter is that if he is representing us at the federal level, and in this context, whatever thing the tax bill, the federal government and the executive arm of the government is implementing, it emanated from the House. And today, no single meeting of the constituencies has been called to elaborate the function and the role of even the existing tax law.
Are you sure there is no town hall meeting, or you are not aware of any?
There is no existing town hall meeting in that regards.
And you are saying this with no apology?
With no apology. The only town hall meeting they usually engage in, which are usually jamborees, in most cases, are usually when they are having a constituency project. The primary core subjects, which is to legislate a law, which is to enact a law, which is to formulate a law that will benefit or uplift the mass of the people, they are found wanting. So, if your representative cannot be able to account for his own primary core responsibility, and is saying we should measure him based on rules that he brought to the constituency, that should be a basic primary function of government, then that is not representative.
Now, you're trying to say that constructing roads, building schools, rehabilitating schools, they are not part of your duty.
Our primary responsibility, our basic needs of necessity that man ordinarily should have. So aside from that, we have issue of kidnapping. As he addressed us, that issue of the kidnapping as going globally is becoming a big business.
But it's not affecting some constituencies.
If it does not, are those people not having life like us? Are we not going to go there to trade? Or supply is not going to come from north? Plant and agriculture are being carried out. Farm products are brought here. Is it not going to affect us? What is his role in ensuring police and other security agency have the right needed backup legislative backing?
Okay, now we're talking about CAP here. Now let's talk about the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Sawo and then Honorable Lumo. Do you actually think they're also working?
I absolutely disagree with any form of measure. One, let's look at the core responsibility of these people at the Lagos State House of Assembly. They are to enact law, promulgate, make sure they bring together law that will favor Nigerians, Lagosians, Ajegunle as a whole. Now, I ask you today, if you look at the real estate today, the issue of rentage is astronomical, out of hand, out of control. Minimum wage cannot match the rate at which rent is going on. They newly enacted a law, in tenancy agreement in Lagos State law. What have you? What is the role of these people? They cannot tell us that they have come back to their community to size our mind, to get our opinion on the inputs of what they have done. Nothing. Now, second one, let me draw your attention back to Sobo Oluwa. Recently, he's a member of the Committee on Electricity. As we are here now, we are in his constituency, we do not have lights. What is the essence of being the head of a committee of electricity?
What B is under the administration of Honorable Sawo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What is the essence of you being a member, will be the head of the committee on electricity, in which even your own constituency is suffering for light?
But it's not a general thing.
The distributing company are not accountable for it. And what I'm saying is this.
You not having electricity, is it a general thing in the constituency or just your ward?
Electricity, whether you look at it from the micro point of view or larger point of view. First, if you look at it from individual point of view, as a journalist, you need electricity to charge your power bank. As a student, you need electricity to make sure that you read overnight to pass exam. As a student, as SMEs, small businesses, you need electricity to ensure that you power your refrigerator, your fridge and all that, to do small businesses, to make business. If this electricity are not available and people are paying for darkness, and you're not saying that you are legislating me, you are representing me, it is foul. These are core. We must understand the distinction between core work and supplementary work. Supplementary work are those work that are core constituency project activities that they are so-called media data boy are using. No, they are completely different. Now, let's even go to whether they are performing in regards to bringing roads, electricity, power supply, and what have you into the community. And let's ask ourselves, they themselves, it is the same house that promulgates the Procurement Act. The Procurement Act of law. And the Procurement Act clearly stated the bidding process, the process of selection of the contractor should be plain and clear. Do you ever see in any of the so-called road construction they are doing that you see a signpost where you can see the owner, the contractor name, the period of the petition? It's completely lie. It does not exist. I've brought that to all everywhere. So even the constituency project, what I'm saying is something that the constituency project is completely characterized of a very serious corruption.
But let's look at the Tolu complex for an example. You see what's the construction going on, and and this is under Honorable Sao's administration, and you say he's not doing anything. It's not part of his jurisdiction.
Thank you very much. I love that. Education is a product of life. Education is a protected something. Education, a nation that will become great, it will become great basic on the education. That is one. What is the essence of having an edifice with no human resources?
It's a gradual process. It's a gradual process.
What is a gradual process in this 21st century? Let me give you statistics. Look at the entire Tolu. At least we have 16 public schools.
Yes, 16 public schools.
16 public schools. In the entire public school, take one public school, Olua Junior Secondary School. I can authoritatively tell you the only staff that is in Olua Junior Secondary School are no more than 6. To take entire population of a school who is up to 15,000 in students, at least per classroom you have nothing less than 150 to 250 students, and you have only a staff, a working staff of 6 in that school. How do you want that person to be?
Okay, let me deviate attention a bit from that. Now let's talk about the newly elected local government chairman. We've talked about Honorable Kaleja. You've talked about Sao. And let's talk about the local government chairman. Do you also think it's not working?
I have sympathy for Akindipe, and my sympathy flow from the fact that you have a situation where somebody have a lot of something to clear on the table. He has summoned the courage. He's here to implement his own budget. But I want to say what the predecessor Ayola Fatai put down is a disastrous system.
What do you mean by that, sir?
Fine. This is a system who cannot pinpoint on a yearly basis an average of 9 billion naira annually as a budget for 8 years.
But there are a lot of projects he executed during his days in office, leading of.
Let us be very objective.
Okay.
What is the project? What is the project you are talking? Can you tell me the number of roads he built with an average of 9 billion naira budget for 8 years? Can you tell me one? Can you tell me just one?
They constructed some numbers of road.
I am not
invested in sports and other sectors as well.
I'm not party to glorify some certain things. I want you to. I'm a practical man. I go around the community. I want you to look at. There is this, what is it called? Asphalt football pitch. He built about 8 or more of it. I know one in Adeoluwa Primary School, about 2 in Tolu. I know one in Zumurat Primary School, New Road. I know one in Orege Aziz and others. Go to all of these places. Aside the fact that when those facilities were built, they are not being used, or they are minimally used just to camouflage that they are there. Go and look the state of those pitch now. They are completely disarrayed. They are not in existence again. Now, let me give you the only functioning one. And go there, go and see the testimony, go and see something there again. It's the one that is most functional. Is the one in Orege Aziz, in front of the Orege estate. Awodiora estate, I mean. Go and look at there. It has become, the structure is collapsing.
That might be as a form of mismanagement.
Mismanagement of or maintenance, or rather, you want to say.
Maintenance, rather, yes.
Now, let me tell you in simple terms, what is the essence of me erecting edifice that cannot last? It's just 2 months. How many months? It's just 6 months, or it's not even up to 6 months out of office. All those edifice is collapsing. What are you not saying?
All right, sir, before we continue, let's go on a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Don't miss a moment. Keep watching Talk Your Mind podcast with Oyo Technical Sources. Real talk, real people, real impact.
All right, welcome back. This is the Talk Your Mind section. So this section, we are going to ask you 2 questions, different from the general question, and you have to be honest about it.
Okay.
So are we good to go?
Yeah.
So this is the Talk Your Mind section. If you become the local government chairman, for instance, what is the first thing you implement as the chairman?
First and foremost, I am not a subscriber to this system, to this capitalist system. So even the question of whether I want to become local government chairman in the first instance is off me.
Or if I eventually become, what's the first thing?
Now, if wishes,
yes,
there were horses that I might ride. The truth of the matter is that the basic necessities like water, roads, serenic environment, secured community where features, idea, and organized mode of system of production is enshrined. That is my vision for this community.
All right, thank you. There's this thing in China that if you embezzle money, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment or killed, as the case may be. So do you believe that this same system should be implemented in our government here in Nigeria?
Well, absolutely, I don't agree with that. Even in China, despite incarceration, killing of corrupt politicians, the system is still a Stanley system. It's still a dysfunctional socialist state, which does not represent what socialism, a system that organizes people, that want to bring best out of the people. If you bring Jesus or Muhammad to come and rule these local governments, it will fail. Absolutely. Don't be deceived.
Okay, but before we continue now, we've done some of our research. We did some interior underground research. We've gone to newspaper joints. We've conversed with a lot of people, and they tend to say good thing about the new local government chairman. Does that not make a statement?
I said it. I have sympathy for him because he has to combat a lot of challenges. He's a young, fresh guy. But I'm telling you, the system will run. If care is not taken, Akindipe might fail. That is absolutely true. Because they will engage him, they will twist him, they will handicap him. He will not be able to breathe. The little one is doing now that everybody is saying is because he's still striving. As 2027 approaches, they will make sure it become themselves. We know how the dynasty of Oluwa operates here. Don't be deceived. Let them budget Nigeria budget the 57.8 trillion naira that Tinubu budget at the federal level. Let them bring it to Adegunle. It will fail with this kind of system. So what is now?
Okay, then if that's the case, what reforms are necessary to improve transparency in budgeting and project executions?
First and foremost, let's look at the budgeting process. I don't want to rush into the conclusion with you. Let us look at the budgeting process. The year 2026 budget was recently presented by Akindipe. look at what happened before the formulation. Let me tell you in simple sense. Normally, the budget process should have look at the priorities of areas that need major attention that need to be constructed. But the truth of the matter is that do you even know the details of the budget? The only thing you will know about the budget is the total capture of the budget, the capital expenditure, the overhead. That is what we know in this local government. One of the most corrupt civil servant system in Lagos State is this our place here, Ajeromi Telugu local government. And I will tell you, I challenge the council manager and the council treasurer to come and prove to me whether they are not an architecture of corruption that is taking place in Ajeromi local government secretariat.
And you are saying this with no apology?
With authority.
Okay. So how can citizens demand more openness from their elected representatives?
Demanding openness and representation, a quality representation from the elected officers is to engage them. We can engage them by submitting memorandums. We can engage them by protest. We can engage them by making sure they are accountable and transparent in their dealing in the bidding process of selecting contractors. You can also make sure you vote the right persons.
Okay.
And the only way you can get that is only and only if we change this system.
Okay, now you said something in your word that you have sympathy for the newly elected local government chairman, which has started on a good note. So now for him to continue on the good note, what advice do you have for him?
I want to advise Akinipe strongly that to do work of public servants that he has started is the fact that he must be truthful and loyal to himself first and foremost. Secondly, he needs to make sure that he cannot please everybody in this world, and he must step on toes to make sure that it is that he needs to show for after he left office must be done. That is the basic advice I want to give to him.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We've come to the end of today's section on Talk Your Mind. Really pleased to have you, and we also have you to come. There are a lot of questions here that I could not just ask, but then maybe some other time we'll bring you down to the show again, and then we'll hit you on the head. Thank you very much.
Thank you.